Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Brian and Jim here, drinking beer and play a game, and welcome to another episode of the Power Hour.
Yes, hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 144, the last Power Hour of 2021. How are you doing tonight?
Jim, how was your Christmas?
Good. Saw a bunch of people, saw a bunch of family and friends, got a lot of COVID exposures, so now I'm playing the waiting game with my tests.
Waiting's for suckers, Jim. You could just be like me and already have it.
Yeah, well, look at you, Mr. Fancy Go-Getter over here.
Yep. Yeah, lucky me, got tested positive for COVID on Christmas Eve. Still not sure where it came from. Like everyone, it seems we know, could have came from a million spots. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't have smell or taste, so I will not be able to end the year in with a beer, so I have some delicious water. So yeah.
But Brian, now you can eat all the ass you want with no repercussions.
Damn it, Jim!
Take advantage. Make lemons out of lemonade. Make lemonade out of lemons. That's the phrase.
I am half tempted to, once I'm fully over the sick piece of the COVID, if I still don't have any taste in my mouth, I'm going to take that Packy chip thing and be like, this ain't shit, Jim. What are you talking about?
Jim's a bitch. Jim's a bitch. Jim's a bitch.
I'll be like, look, I'll eat 2 of these.
Look, it's so easy. I don't know what Jim was bitching about.
It is kind of odd. I couldn't understand. Have you ever lost your taste before?
Nah, I don't think I have.
That's a sensation I didn't think I could I was like, I couldn't even understand it. And what's weird is it truly 0 registers, but you can sense the major sensation. So if something's salty or like you can feel a zing on your tongue, but there's no flavor to it. So I poured a whole bunch of sriracha on a spoon and ate it, and it did nothing. Like it literally, like there was a tiny bit of like a little spark. It almost felt like, but not a burn. It just, and that was it, and then it was done. It was like half a second. So I was like, all right, so this is what this is. So it's very, very weird. And yeah, I'm waiting to see. From the people I know that have had COVID, they said it can change your taste after the fact, like once you do get it back. So I'm curious how beer's going to taste to me once I'm back at it.
Interesting.
Now, speaking of beer, Jim, what are you drinking with us tonight?
Well, Brian, and I don't know if I'm going to make like a long thread about it or do a little quick video on it. I picked up this 12 German beers of Christmas pack from my local beer distributor. So I'm actually playing catch up because I didn't have one yesterday. So this is from, okay, I'm not sure. This is all in gibberish. So I believe this is from the Weininger Brewery and a Hohemat Weissbier, gebraut mit Rohstoffen aus Bayern, Hoste Bracketeller aus Düsseldorf. So yeah, all that.
Interesting.
All that goodness right there. So yeah, nice little, somewhat cloudy Weissbier. Golden little hue to it. Not a lot, almost like no lacing to it at all. And it, what was it? It said the alcohol over here. Where's the alky? Yep, 5.6%. And the little sip I took so far, it's got like a real, like, full body mouthfeel to it. It's kind of impressive.
So you said you're playing catch up. Of the 12 days of Christmas, what beer is that in the calendar?
This would be 2.
Oh, okay.
Because I started on Christmas Day.
I was going to say, you're only 2 days past Christmas.
Well, 3, because I'm going to have 2 and 3 today. So.
True, yeah. So, yeah,
And it'll be some other impronounceable thing that I'll do when I get to that.
Yeah, I bought all kinds of special beer for me and my brother to try out, and then some I was going to have on here. There was these ones, they were called fun size cans. They were still expensive because it was really strong, but they're like cute, adorable little cans, but like bourbon barrel aged. I forget what, I can't even remember, honestly. I think it was an Imperial Stout. But
are they like those little mini Sprites?
Kind of, a little bigger than that. Not
or are they like a pony,
small.
like a Rolling Rock pony?
Like that, but think of a pony, but in can size, if that makes sense. So like I said, it's not quite as small as the baby Sprite cans.
Okay.
Just imagine that a tiny bit bigger. But they had like skeletons on it. It's a PA brewery. I think it might be Free Will. But it's like you said, it's bourbon barrel aged imperial stout, so I think it's still like 12 or some percent.
Oh, is it like those like Starbucks espresso little cans?
Yes.
That size.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
I got that, and then I got a few other things that I was like, ooh, this just sounds good, like Christmassy. So yeah, there'll probably be some mid-January, hopefully I'll get it back by then, Christmas beer tastings.
Yeah, so luckily, shortly before Christmas, Brian and I met up and we banged out a couple reviews. So one of the Patreon reviews will be coming. So that'll be coming soon for Mook. Sorry, Leo, it'll probably have to be pushed to January for yours because
Yeah.
Corona-chan got us. So yeah, we'll meet up when we can. And we actually just got another Patreon request, which we will be getting to.
Ooh, I haven't seen it yet, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
I really haven't seen it.
Yeah, I know you haven't. No. Once he said, I was like, I know he's being a jacket. Well, fuck it. So, before we skip into what we've been playing, so our buddy TJ, you know, as Lawmance on Twitter, he upped his pledges on Patreon from $2 to $5, and he requested we do Sneak King. Right, you know what Sneak King is?
Sneak King?
Yes.
Is it the Burger King game?
Yes, it is.
Oh, isn't that the actual kind of good one of the? What was there? 3 games. There was a kart racer.
Yeah, there is Big Bump in
and
Sneak King and like Dirt Bike Racer or something or other. The name.
Okay.
So.
And what is the sneak? You basically have to sneak around, like sneak burgers into people's hands or something.
Yeah, it's a stealth game. You gotta sneakily give people delicious Burger King treats.
It'll be interesting trying to track it down.
Oh no, it's super easy to track down. I'm sure I have it somewhere, but now I just have too much shit. I have like 3 copies of Big Bumpin' apparently, or 2 or 3. So
of course you do.
Yeah, and I did just find that the motorbike one was the hardest one to find, like just randomly. So I came across that recently. So yeah, sneaking, I'll get dirt cheap, and when we do that, we'll probably just, since they're such small games, we'll probably just bang out all 3 of them. Yes, yep. Exactly. So there you go, 3 for the price of 1.
Merry Christmas, Lawmans.
Speaking of Christmas
thank you.
And our patrons, so once again, if you have not checked it out yet and you're a patron of the show, head on over to Patreon, check out me doing the Hot Chip Challenge where I give myself an ouchie. So it's been well received. Been well received.
Jim.
And if you're new to the page, you're new to the Patreon, $1. $1 gets you me eating the hot chip and having some good old poop cramps.
Jim, can we once a month just have you do a food challenge? They don't have to be hot. It can be as simple. Maybe we do the $1 video of those weird things we want to drink. The things I have.
Oh yeah, that could be the next one. So
yeah. I'm saying, like, I also had, like, maybe we could have you try super sour stuff. Basically, copy LA Beast, but not go as extreme as finding drinks from 1997.
Yeah, not go as extreme and also not get the ad revenue back from his millions of views. Yes, well worth it. We love you guys.
So, Chambers, I know we said prior to this past week we probably wouldn't be able to play much, but were you able to get any gaming in?
Not a lot. So I am actually planning on doing a tier list of all the games I beat in 2021, so I'm going to try and hopefully have that out this week. So I'm getting a lot of game footage for that, but for casual gaming, actually, what do you call it? While I was at waiting in the parking lot for the doctor's office, I started playing some Blasphemous. So that was on sale in the eShop, and yeah, I'm like an hour-ish into it so far.
That's it. I actually like the idea of the tier list because I decided as well. You know me, I like my list.
Oh, you do.
List out all the games I beat this year, or at least started. But I have problems with some games, like where I just kept playing them, like like a Fallout 76 or Dead by Daylight. Like I can't really count them. So I try to only count games that I beat this past year. So yeah, that would be an interesting video we'll make. Maybe make a little tier list. I'll make a little tier list. I like that.
Keep an eye out there, folks. People love their tier list videos these past 2 years, so of course we wait until the trend dies down before we finally do it, because we're so good at this.
Jim, the trends mean nothing to us.
The trends mean everything.
If anything, Jim, if we ever try to get a trend when it's hot or a game when it's new, like we had on a certain new game, it means nothing.
True.
So yeah, I same as you, basically didn't do anything then once I tested positive, and I was quarantining anyway, I played a hell of a lot more GTA 5. Still really, really enjoy that game. And I started a game, I think I'd mentioned to you before. It's called Observer. If you've ever seen it on, I think it's on Game Pass, but it has like the half, not steampunk, like cybernetic face, and then it's like Rutger Hauer's other half of the face.
Okay.
It's by the team that did Layers of Fear, Medium, and what's the other one? I can't remember, but another psychological horror game. And basically, you're in a very think Blade Runner meets The Matrix. It's like super like computer futuristic, holograms everywhere, and you're trying to solve a murder. So it's also like an investigator thing. It's really cool. Lots of lots of crazy tech to use. And it's Rutger Hauer voicing it, so that's pretty damn quality.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've dived into that pretty hard for a couple hours.
Is that an old game, or you said it was relatively new? The people who worked on it, right?
Yeah,
he just died recently.
Yeah, it's like probably 2015, 2016. So yeah, not super old, but definitely not new.
Gotcha.
You could tell by his voice it was. Yeah, he was.
He was on the downturn.
He was old by then, but still, I love me some Rutger Hauer.
Oh yeah, who doesn't?
But yeah, other than that, haven't had a ton of time for much gaming. But I did buy a game on Steam sale, Jim, that I will be happy to play on Twitch one day. The what's it called?
Oh, did you do it, Dickhead?
Yeah, what is it called? But it's called like Cockhead or something.
Cockhead, Dickhead, whatever.
I think it's called Cockhead.
Maybe.
Yeah, basically the penis inspired ripoff of Cuphead. So I'm pretty sure it's called Cockhead.
Something like that.
So I don't know if that. Here's my thing: will it be allowed to be streamed on Twitch?
Well, probably one way to find out.
This is true.
Good thing we don't depend on Twitch for anything.
So yeah, I'll definitely have to stream that, because why the hell not?
Exactly. So no, I'm excited to see that.
So yeah, Jim, so you already did mention, though, from our buddy TJ, who once again, thank you for upping the ante, but I know we got a few other questions in, so what do we got this week?
Yes, patreon.com/drinkabeerplaygame, where for as little as $2 a month, you can ask a question we'll answer on each and every single one of these Power Hour podcasts. Got a few in this. I actually posted late, and we got a good amount of questions, so everyone paid attention.
Damn it, Jim.
Sorry. First up from JD Maines, what overall grade would you give 2021 games?
Strictly 2021 games?
I guess, yeah. Ooh.
I mean, yeah, so sticking to that, I'm going to base it on what we saw from the nominees of the Game Awards. A C?
A B-ish, I guess.
Like there wasn't a ton of... Jim and I are notoriously late to the game with adopting new games.
Yes,
but,
we are.
I loved Resident Evil 8. Back 4 Blood was fun. From the list of games I saw, like the new Call of Duty was a lot of fun. But from like games that I thought, man, I'm going to play in the future, there's not really many. So of the ones I chose to play, I actually did enjoy. But I guess I'm giving it a C because when I go back to this year, there's probably not going to be a ton of titles that I'm like, oh yeah, I needed to try that one out. Like, what was that one, It Takes Two?
Yeah, the one that like won most of the stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so that didn't seem too stellar of a year.
Yeah, like I would say, I guess a B. Yeah, like you had Psychonauts and
I mean, is that a game that you feel like you want to go back to and play?
I hear nothing but good things. I still never played Psychonauts 1, so I got to do that eventually first. But yeah, I mean, yeah, nothing I could really be like, oh, I really got to get around. Like, I'm not having FOMO with any of these like new releases. Maybe like Forza I would like to play, but like I want to play it in its real graphics and everything like that. So,
yeah.
And yeah, Halo Infinite, that finally came out, and I do want to get around to that, but it's another Halo.
Yeah, that is one I want to play for sure. Some of our friends have been playing it,
and Metroid Dread, I have to play Metroid Dread still. That'll be a next year game.
I thought you got it.
No, I haven't even bought it yet.
Oh, you were just defending it. That's right.
Yes.
I thought no. I thought for real. I thought you were like kind of defending it. Like, yeah,
No,
that's
no, I
cool.
did. No, it's when people were arguing if it was worth $60 or not.
Oh, which it's not, but still. Come on, Jim. How many games have you said are not worth $60?
Oh, then there's a lot of games that aren't worth $60.
Exactly. So yeah, it's not controversial to say that's not.
I'm not getting into this argument again. One, because I don't care enough, and two, maybe it probably isn't. I do wonder how many people played it, like got there, like, you know, you get your 12 hours out of it. You know what? If you enjoyed your 12 hours with it, then fuck it, you got your money's worth out of it. Who's to say?
The pirates, Jim.
Pirates are gonna pirate no matter what. Damn, it doesn't matter. Overblown. Well, killed the Dreamcast. Shut up. Maybe it should have had a DVD drive. Maybe it should have had a second analog stick. How about that?
Oh, Jim.
Next up from G to... What?
I was going to say, I don't know if you posted on Twitter or somebody posted something. It looks like the N64 controller remade as a wireless controller, but without the dick in the center, looks so much better.
Oh, I mean, I know Retro Fighters had made their, like the Brawler 64. I think they released a...
Maybe that's it.
Or maybe it's the knockoff of the Hori pads, too. When they, whoever remade that.
I thought maybe you posted it. I saw it. I was like, see, that doesn't look bad.
Nah, it probably wasn't me. Like, I know of it. Like, I have the first gen of the Retro Fighters pads. So,
okay.
it's a solid controller. I mean, it was like $25. It was super cheap. Like,
Yeah.
surprisingly well built. My only issue with it was the analog stick was, like, too twitchy. Like, playing Mario Kart with it, fucking possible. But no, it's a nice controller otherwise.
Yeah. No, but great question, though. Thanks, bud.
Yep. Next up, from G to the next level. If you guys could design a game, what genre of game would you like to... Ooh, sorry for the burp. What genre of game would you like to make? Hope you guys had a wonderful holiday.
All right. I'm going to go outside my obvious of anything horror and say a fantasy kind of RTS. Think like the Warhammer games I've been going on about, mixed in with kind of the old Lord of the Ring game, which right now I cannot believe how fucking expensive it is. I think it's called Battle for Middle-earth. It was similar to your Star Wars game you showed me on your old computer.
Yeah.
Not totally Age of Empires ripoff, but it's kind of similar to that. And it's going for $300-400 because
What?
they won't release it on fucking Steam. And I have the full CD thing, and the irony here is my new PC doesn't have a CD port, so now I have to buy an external CD port.
Classic.
So, yeah, I couldn't believe though how much, because there's all these tutorials on now how to play the game, even if you don't have the CD. It's crazy, but I would like to do that, but in a fantasy world, kind of make up my own characters and world, and just have them be armies that fight each other. Something to that effect. What about you, Chambers?
Brian, can I ask you a quick question?
Oh, God.
What was the best part of Mortal Kombat Armageddon?
Are you talking about the kart racing game?
Brian, I want a full-fledged, fully made Mortal Kombat kart racing game. You have the
It was
framework.
pretty goddamn fun.
You have the framework. Just expand. Make it real. Give us a bunch of tracks. Give us all the racers.
Give us, I mean...
Give us, super special attacks privy to all the different ones. So,
That's what I liked about it. Like, being Scorpion, you could pull the people back. Sub-Zero freezes them. Like, the powers write themselves. Now, here's my question, and I can't remember that as much. So, do you still throw in kind of a la Mario Kart generic power-ups that they can all use? Or is it more just specific to the racer themselves, and maybe it's just like speed boost?
I think you need to have some generic weapons that everyone can use.
Weapons?
Just to keep it, balance everything out. Because then you run the risk of, some people just having way better abilities than other people, and then it's like, yeah, well, fuck this.
I was going to say, would you want since they have the license, the Mortal Kombat versus DC kart racer?
Yes!
Jim, you'd always just want to be Flash.
Yeah, because he's the fastest.
That's like you always want to be Toad.
I'm always Toad.
I know you are.
Unless it's Mario Party, then I'm always Mario. Need my doppelganger there.
That would be fun. Speaking of kart racers like that, is there any other franchises you would want to see turn into kart racer?
Well, Sonic already had some really good ones, so he's out. What franchise?
Like I'm trying
Because
to
like
think,
as much as I would want to say Castlevania would just be a bunch of guys whipping each other from a little go-kart, it'd be stupid.
But you could throw the cross.
Of course, you can throw the cross, Brian.
I mean, yeah, that style actually you could. Now that I'm thinking about it, you could do a Resident Evil one, Castlevania. You could do a whole Konami collection.
You know what? I think it'll be tough with a lot of like franchises, but maybe you just did like developer specific. Like
that's what I
did a Capcom one,
thinking.
so you have like you know Crisp shooting at. It'll be like fucking Marvel vs. Capcom, but just in card form.
That would be fine with me.
Yeah, people love those crossovers.
I'm shocked of all the shit they have copied off of Nintendo's more important things like that, and as we mentioned before, it seems like it's catching on now. But the whole Smash Brothers, like first there's PlayStation All Stars, and now we're getting that WB game and some of this other shit. But
yeah,
I'm shocked there isn't more copycats.
Well, I mean, Brian, back in the original Xbox days, we had a shitload of Shrek Party games and Sonic Chaos.
I still
or Sonic Shuffle. I mean,
I still don't get the obsession some people have with Trek. And I've seen it a million times because of my
weird
kids.
Corner of the internet. It's
like a very weird.
It's like
corner.
Combination of like weird corner that like, what do you call it? Actually like worships Shrek and enjoys it. And then there's that other corner that's so memeable with you when you do anything like degenerate and you throw Shrek on top, it makes it even funnier. So, like the Princess Fiona and Shrek form with the fleshlight at the bed, that thing. What?
The only Shrek thing that the first time I ever saw a legit Shrek meme animation video was when it was that Left 4 Dead 2 thing. And it's like all the characters being attacked by Shrek at night and he's like banging them. It was very weird. I think you actually sent it out to our group.
Sounds like something I would have sent.
Yeah.
I don't remember it, but it sounds like something I would have
done. So yeah. Great question there.
Yep, for sure. Next up from Burn Retinas, which '90s stage show would you have liked to have gone to as a kid? TMNT Coming Out of Our Shells or Mortal Kombat The Live Tour?
I didn't know there was a Mortal Kombat Live Tour because that would definitely be my answer. I knew about the TMNT thing. Yeah, without doubt. Shit, what is this thing called? Now I gotta look it up.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat The Live Tour. I've never heard of that either. So, I mean, my answer would be Mortal Kombat 2 because I was way more of a Mortal Kombat kid than I was TMNT.
Wow. Okay. And it seems like they got a lot of the characters that actually did the fuck is the word I'm looking for? They modeled for the characters.
Oh, the motion capture artists or whatever?
Yeah. Huh. Damn, I gotta find a video of this. I want to see how awesome it was. Or terrible.
Well, I'm gonna say awesome might be a relative term, Brian, because I've seen videos of the TMNT one, and ooh, mama.
I did go to a Power Rangers one, and I remember thinking that was awesome. But then it was my kid brain who was obsessed with Power Rangers, so I can't really speak more to that. But I don't think I've been to many live shows. I'll be honest. Like, I've been to like Phantom of the Opera. That might be it outside of because I can't count concerts or monster truck shows. So yeah, I don't think I've been to many live theater style things.
Right, we had to go see Arabian Nights in freshman year of college.
I don't count that
because it was homework.
Yeah, and it was not well produced. That was the local theater.
Right, but that's where it's the most pure.
Mm-hmm. I am terribly pissed. If you open that up, I really want to see the It's Always Sunny Charlie's little play thing.
Yeah, you got to go on a 5-year wait list. That's all.
Yeah, but I'm saying like when they did it, like they themselves were doing it way back.
I know.
I would have loved to have done that, and of course
that was like $500 a ticket too, though.
Was it?
It was. I looked into it. One, it sold out instantly, and two, like the cheapest tickets were like $200-300. I was like, I'll pass.
And then the Book of Mormon, I would have liked to have seen.
Yeah, I'd like to get around to Book of Mormon eventually too.
Yeah, I don't give two craps about what was that Jefferson one.
Oh, what do you? Hamilton. Fuck. Well,
Hamilton.
that took way too long.
I said Jefferson.
What do you call it? I watched the one that they threw up on Disney Plus. It was fine. Everyone says it like it's way better live. Okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. I didn't get the hype.
Jim, you weren't a theater dork?
No, it was not right.
I know.
Yeah, and I didn't get to go to a lot of shows as a kid because I didn't go to a lot of anything as a kid.
What are you talking about, Jim?
There was homework to be studying.
BJ's, Costco, Sam's. You went all the big ins.
Should they have the demo tables out for the little snacks?
Damn it. Jim, don't act like you didn't try to keep coming back.
Oh, I did every single time. Can I? Oh, look at the cute little fat kid. Here's another little cup. All right, moving on from my childhood trauma once again. Next up from Alex Perez. Happy New Year, guys. Any gaming or DBPG channel-related resolutions for 2022? Funny you should mention that.
Do we hop it now or do we wait?
Well, all right, well, fucking, I guess well, you know what? Let's just go to Phony's question, then we'll go back to Alex, because we got one more
Okay.
question.
Sounds
All right,
good.
so next, last up, well, not last, because we're going back. You know what I mean, from Phony Montana. If you had to give up fried chicken, tacos, pasta, or ice cream for life, which would it be and why? For me, it would be pasta because even though I enjoy it occasionally, life without the other three foods wouldn't be a life worth living.
You know, I can
Ice cream.
probably...
Gone.
Yeah,
Ice cream,
I was
you're
going to say,
out.
I can give up ice cream. There's enough other desserts I enjoy more. And ice cream is good, but, like, honestly, it's not... I've never been, like, oh my god, ice cream. Like, it's one of those things I'm always like... If we have it in the house, I'm always kind of shocked. I'm like, oh, cool, there's ice cream. And then I'll have some. But, yeah, that can definitely go. Because what was it? Fried chicken, tacos, or
Fried chicken, tacos, pasta, or ice cream.
Yeah. Can't give up pasta because, number one, that's way too fucking broad. You're talking all the way from spaghetti to tortellinis. Like, that's a whole
Friggin'
range.
lasagna? You want me to give up my lasagna over here?
Tacos, you can't give up tacos. And fried chicken, no. I love all that shit. Now, if you broke it down to those three, ooh, that would be a tough give. That would be really fucking tough give.
Fuck. I might go... Ooh, I do love me my wingies, though. I was about to say fried chicken, but I
was
wingies.
almost... I thought the same way as you, Jim. See, when he said fried chicken, I think like the KFC style, just bland-ass. But then I was like, no, I guess you do have to throw wings in there.
Excuse me, bland, sir. Colonel's Original Spices, all right?
I mean,
Easy
listen,
there.
Jim, I am a Popeye. I prefer Popeyes over KFC. KFC is delicious. I'm not saying it's bad. I just prefer spicy Popeyes.
Well, I mean, it's Louisiana fast, so.
Yeah. And tacos, man. Oh my god. Once again, that's so...
Dude, maybe the smart answer would be taco because taco ingredients just get repurposed a billion different ways anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you could then...
Burritos,
transfer to
enchiladas, crunch wraps, quesadillas, quesadillas.
Yeah. I mean, I do like some good... When you get a good place that makes good fish tacos or shrimp tacos...
Fish tacos are good.
That's tough. Like, because that's a flavor you're not going to
Little mango salsa on top.
Yeah. But that might have to be my answer if it was down to those three. Because, yeah, I'm not giving up fucking pasta. Come on.
No, I need my sketties. You know me. I'm a sketty man.
Jim's been a grown boy on sketties all his life. There's no way he's ever given up pasta.
Up and out. That's the way I do it.
Yeah, great, tough question. But, yeah, it looks like both of us are kicking out the ice cream. Now you are oddly, you're not really a dessert guy, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not a crazy dessert guy.
I was gonna say, like, is there a tough dessert that would be hard for you to give up? Like, I love donuts.
Do you like me a donut?
Those and like chocolate chip cookies are probably two of my kryptonites. But do you have one? Like, is it cake, brownies? Like, what is it? Candy?
Oh, I do like. Well, if you're throwing candy in with that, fuck. If I get on.
All right. Well, then we'll say only baked goods.
All right, cheesecake.
Ooh, okay, that is good.
Cheesecake is my big weakness when it comes to
that's your
the
biggest
bakey
one.
shit. Yep.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, ice cream just doesn't do it for me. And I worked at Friendly's where I could make some banging ass ice cream things. So.
Would you say you got burnt out, or was it just in always?
You know what? Actually, I did kind of. Just like that was the first place I really tried chicken quesadillas. And when I first had them, I was like, God damn, these are delicious. And then you get burnt out on those, ice cream, all that shit.
First place you tried cock, too. Then you're like, damn, there's just so much of it. I can't go back to it.
Damn it, Jim! Son of a bitch.
Hey, it happens.
No, good question, though. Thank you, Phony.
Yep, and circling back to Alex. So, resolutions. This actually turned out to be a thing that Brian was already planning on doing for this episode.
Alex, great minds think likes.
That was how the words go.
I did want to have Jim kind of commit, because what I want him and I both to do, we always talk about games. I already started internally making a list of games I want to commit, and I think maybe the first episode of the next year will have it more rounded out. But Jim, off the top of your head, are there any games you want to commit to beating this coming year?
Alright, I do want to play through and finish A Plague Tale.
Okay.
Since I've started, I guess I'll commit to finishing Blasphemous. Like, I'm not in love with it right now, but I'm like, it's pretty good. So, I think I could get through that. I do want to, like I said, I can handle one Metroid and one Zelda a year. So, I'll do fucking Link to the Past. I'll get, that big one out of the way, since I never did that one before.
Are you gonna beat 2?
I probably should beat 2 since I'm already working on it. That'd probably be smarter. Yeah, Zelda 2, Adventure of Link. That'll be the one I beat. Link to the Past can wait. Maybe by then they'll throw that on a Game & Watch, and then I can play it on the pooper. So, yeah, Zelda 2, and then for Metroid, I'll say Metroid Dread. I'll get Dread out of the way.
Nice.
And,
is there any other titles that have been lingering out there that have been like a... Alright, so you just hit
you know what? I'll throw TurboGrafx in there. So, when I was making my, some list videos earlier, like, Legendary Axe 2, it's probably my favorite game I own for this system, but I haven't beaten it yet. And the last time I was playing it, I got to the last boss, but during the afternoon I was playing, I just could not fucking beat him. So I'll make it a thing to myself to finally beat that fucker and finish that game off.
All right. Maybe we should have that be a recurring, like, we'll put it on the site, have a checklist. We'll have our resolution games 10 games that we know we want to beat next year, and we see how we do. Should we do a challenge to each other, though? Each give each other a game that the other should beat? And it's a sincere recommendation, not like a we know this sucks
recommendation. Right, yeah. No, yeah, I guess we could do that. Yeah, we'll save a spot for that, so it'll be homework for next week.
Yeah, my list is... It's kind of also like I really, really want to not get rid of. I want to kind of cross off the list. So basically almost my entire PS4 library are all games that I've played, haven't beaten all the way through. So like Bloodborne, the Days Gone, the Avengers game, The Last Guardian, and it's just kind of goes on and on there. And it's like, they're all great games. And right. I'm like, I know I just want to commit to actually beating them. And that's what I've actually been doing with my Game Pass games, is going through almost alphabetically and trying to beat them, get them off, so I can make room for new games, just so I can try them out. So, yeah, I want to see how many games I can actually blast through this year.
So there we go. Yeah. It's a little thing. So, yeah, we'll be putting up a list on the website for locking ourselves in. Yeah. And we'll come up with some punishments for the games we don't get done by the end of the year, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just 10 games each. We should be able to get them all done by the end of the year.
Jim, you should commit to playing Uncharted.
No, fuck you.
Jim, maybe it'll turn you around.
Maybe I'll do Uncharted 2 since everyone considers that the best one. Maybe I'll...
Watch,
fine.
Jim's going to be an Uncharted fan now.
Yeah,
just in time for the movie, Jim.
Oh boy, Tom Holland. Big butt.
Yeah. Damn it, Jim. Now, Alex, great question. Like I said, that was already on my mind. So, yeah, we want to hear from you guys. What are some go-to games you really, really want to beat?
Bri, why does Tom Holland have a bigger dump truck than Zendaya?
God damn it, Jim. I hate you.
Important questions got to be asked.
Have you seen the movie yet?
No.
Damn it, Jim. See the movie.
I don't get it.
Although at this point, has it been ruined for you? Because I feel like I've seen shit online. I'm like, wow, they're really just giving shit away.
Well, I've seen all the spoilers at this point, but I'll still sit down and watch it, I guess.
Yeah. No, great question, though, Alex. And was that the last one?
Yes, that wraps up the Patreon questions. So once again, thank you so much to all of you patrons. Like, seriously, we seriously do appreciate it. Hasn't been the easiest year for the page. So, knowing that we've been able to trickle in a few more, patrons and stuff like that here and there, people who really seem to like the content, does mean the world to us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, thank you once again, everyone. Wish I could cheers a beer, but I can't. So, hope you all have a great New Year. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, Chambers. So, what beer are you going with this time, and how's that last one?
The Hohemat Weiss beer. This is fucking goddamn good Weiss beer. If you had Weiss beers before, I don't have the palate to tell you, the intricacies from one to another, but it was really fun. Like, if you come around and see it and you're like, I don't know what any of this says, just pick it up. You'll enjoy it.
Two things Germans know very well. They're engineering and beers.
Yep. And two things I fake at knowing well. And next up.
That's pretty damn true.
So, next up is it's the Schwarzbach by the... What is it? Wait a second. No, that's not Duchette's. It's Duchet's Rheinsbratgerbart from the Craft Beer Works Craft Beer Works Distillery. I'm struggle busting all over the place. 6.2% alcohol, 14 IBUs. So yeah, der Schwarzbach or something here.
Is it Eisenbach or is it just Eisbach?
No, Schwarz, SCHWARZ.
So it's a black box. So it's probably is it a Schwarz beer?
That's what I'm gonna guess it is.
Yeah. If it smells smoky, if it's black and smells smoky, it's a Schwarz beer.
Oh yeah, that's a Schwarz beer.
Yep. Yeah, those are good. Have you ever had one of those styles before? It's a very unique style. It's smoky. It like has a weird almost like a campfire in your mouth taste.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're light. It's weird.
It is weirdly light.
Yeah, it's like you feel like it should have more body to it. Like it's a very unique person, I feel like. All right, Chambers. So here we have a question from our good buddy Allie, and she asked, "What game would we want ported to the Switch?" So I thought about this one, and for me, it was actually an easier answer than I thought it would be. I'd go with like a Fallout 76, a game that unfortunately I just don't get as much time as I would like on Xbox. I would love to play that on the go, and they put Skyrim on there, even though it was like a 10-year-old game at that point. I don't even need the multiplayer aspect of Fallout 76. Like, I just enjoy exploring that world. But that would be kind of cool to do, because there's no real JRPGs that hold my interest enough that I need to be playing them on the shitter. So, yeah.
And actually, funny enough, I do have an RPG that I'd be interested in. So, I always wanted to play, what do you call it, the East games always looked interesting to me. And, I would like to get into them from the beginning, so,
East?
East. It's basically, spelled Y's, a capital Y with a small S. But it's pronounced E's. So, that's the old ones are a little goofy because, the whole, combat's basically just, kind of bumping into people. So, it's definitely weird and old and primitive, but, it's been going on for, 30-plus years. And, I always wanted to play, the best way to play the first two would have been, the collection on Turbo CD, but I'm not going to buy a TurboGrafx CD, and I'm not buying that game to get it, so, I would love to see just, a collection, including, a whole bunch of the first run of, East games, do what you did with, the Secret of Mana collection that they put on the Switch, and you could easily fit more games than they fit onto that on there, so give us, the first 5 or something, get us through the end of the Super Famicom. I think that would be a cool collection.
I gotta ask, do you go out of your way to find these obscure titles?
I don't go out of my way to find them. They just find me, Brian. It's from channels I watch, and they talk about them. And I'm like, hey, it's actually kind of... East isn't... It's a little more obscure, but it's not, that obscure.
But you have no interest in, Final Fantasy?
I've played some Final Fantasy. Now I can play some East.
Or Chrono Trigger.
I mean... You know what? Everyone bitches every single goddamn time about bringing Chrono Trigger finally to the Switch. So just out of spite, I want to see the Twitter timeline burn more with people getting fucking East before they get Chrono Trigger on the Switch. Screw them.
Now, good question, but damn it, Jim. Never
What?
cease to give a weird answer.
What? Man wants a Mies, man wants a Mies.
I guess you do. So, we have already touched on games we want to play next year, our resolution, if you will. So, glad you put this up here because this was another one. We want to kind of cover some of the best and worst games we've played this past year. They don't have to be games from this year, just games we finally got around to. And as Jim said, we both will probably make some kind of video kind of covering this in more detail.
Yeah.
But yeah, in general, let's start thinking through. I think you and I both have an easy... I mean, I don't even know if I could give a definitive top 5, even though I have the list of games. But both of us would probably have Hades in our top 5.
Hades is definitely in the top 5, yes.
Yeah. Great game.
Lived up to all the hype that it had.
I was going to ask you, did it fully live up to all the hype? Because you saw the hype a lot more. I saw a lot of hype for it. But I feel like you might have seen a lot more. Did
you know what?
Weirdly
enough, like, I saw hype for it, but all the hype came from, like, by the time the Game Awards came around. And everyone's like, yeah, this is like the Cinderella game. Like, I hope this wins. But, like, for the longest time, like, I knew of it, but I didn't really know that much about it. Like, maybe the most I had seen was, like, when Pam talked about it in, like, one of her videos, but...
Gotcha.
Yeah, even then, like, I saw a surprising, like, small amount of hype for it, but then, like, once you start playing it and you start talking about it, like, everyone comes out and goes, oh, yeah, that game's amazing.
A stupid question. When you and I were kind of for that little short period playing Among Us, was that this past year or the year before?
Year before. That was huge in 2020.
That was more towards like Christmas time around there, right?
No, that was like middle of 2020. That was like mid lockdown.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, that got huge with the lockdowns.
Okay, so yeah, Hades is definitely a big one. For me, the big one of the beginning of the year was Resident Evil 8, which I've talked about, and you still haven't had a chance to play yet, have you?
Nope.
Jim, play it. God damn it. Stop playing Yeast.
Maybe I'll throw that onto my list for next year. We'll see.
Yeah. I can tell you 2 games you and I played together that were surprisingly fun was Worms WMD.
Yeah, Worms is fun.
And then Golfing with Friends.
Golf with Friends was fun. Buggy mess, but very fun.
Yeah, they were both just kind of fun time wasters. And what'd you think about Back for Blood?
I thought it was fun. You know, I downloaded it once it went to Game Pass fully, but I never got around to touching it since it went there. So
I know. Yeah, I'm in that same boat. Unfortunately, between us trying to get these Alien games and everything else, like I do want to sit down
and all the Halloween games, all the videos we had planned for that shit. Yeah, yeah, that
but
ate up all the time. But no,
Back
but I mean, like,
Blood was a lot of fun to play. Like it did.
The beta was fun.
Yeah, it felt like Left 4 Dead again. But it, like I said, one thing it did bring back to mind is I feel like the levels are too long.
Yeah, and it kind of died a quick death with once it came out, like, you know, hype and talk about it wise. So
unfortunately,
never a good sign there. But yeah, I mean, we got off Game Pass, so we'll eventually get around to it.
Yeah.
No
Obviously,
harm, no foul.
For me, a fun game that I wasn't expecting was the one we just reviewed, was that Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon. I actually really enjoyed that. I don't know, Jim, what's another good standout game that really you played this year and you're like, holy shit?
I mean, Metroid Fusion surprised the shit out of me. Like, I fucking loved my time with that. I was so mad at myself for having to, like, at one point look up a guide just to get past one fucking block that I just could not figure out. I wanted to do that so legit, but I eventually caved. But no, Metroid Fusion, I really, really enjoyed that. The Ninja Warriors remake that was on, that I played on Switch, but it was on it was basically on everything. It came out a couple years ago. Like, that was really good. And especially since I never played the original Ninja Warriors before, like on the Super NES or the arcade, like that being my first time playing it, like, that was really cool.
Yeah.
Link's Awakening, I mean, people love it for a reason. That was really good, even though by the time I was done with it, I was like, okay, I'm done. Thank God.
Yeah, Yeah, I had so Outlast 2 as a follow up to Outlast 1, which I loved Outlast 1. I said Outlast 2, it's like a movie you see that affects you in a weird way,
Yeah.
where the effect was so strong, I have to put it as a great game, but it's not a game that I'm going to go back to play anytime soon because it made me feel uncomfortable. So it hit all the emotions right. Playing Destroy All Humans when I did on Twitch this year, that game was stupid fun. And I don't know, is that one you've ever played, Jim?
Never touched it. That's one that passed me by. I always wanted to play it though.
That's the same way I felt about it. I've had it for original Xbox sitting on the because I got it from a Goodwill, and it's a game that I've always seen. I'm like, dude, I can't wait. And my mind always works like, well, if we're gonna do that, maybe we'll do other Alien games. And then I was like, you know what? No, let me just stream it. And I think the newer version is still available on Game Pass, so you should definitely try it. But just really fun writing. And what really inspired me to play that was the Stubbs the Zombie remake that they put out there that I also did on Twitch. So, and that game is obviously great as well.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of like surprising and like funny and like all that shit and like an old one passing by, fucking Nerdy Nick's Patreon request, Tiny Tank.
Tank.
That surprised the shit out of me how much I like that.
That was.
Now I didn't get it to overstay its welcome like it did for you, unfortunately, but because I didn't play the whole thing, but.
Yeah, the biggest, like I said, that was the only fault, was like sometimes the levels went on too long, and it was like, because of that shitty draw distance, like the maps would become really annoying to navigate. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the comedy in it, that was pretty fucking A+.
Yep.
Actually, while we're talking about Patreon, what is your favorite request we had this year? Because we had Darkwing Duck, we could say Alien Trilogy, even though the review's not out yet.
It's not out yet, but it's filmed and you're editing it together, so we can throw that in there. So yeah, Alien Trilogy, Darkwing Duck, Tiny Tank, Dragon Ball. I think there was another one, wasn't there?
Oh, there was. It was Donkey Kong 64.
Oh, fucking Donkey Kong 64. How could I ever forget that?
Don't worry. We'll talk about that when we talk about the worst games this year.
I'm sure we will. But yeah, I think
from the best, which one would be your favorite?
Probably Tiny Tank, to be honest with you.
Yeah. See, me, I may go Alien Trilogy just because I love the Alien games and I've always wanted to play it. But Tiny Tank was the biggest surprise. Like Darkwing Duck, I knew was going to be quality, and I actually did enjoy it.
Yeah.
Great soundtrack. It's what I expected that game to be. Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball, I heard bad things, and it was worse than I thought it was going to be.
But you knew, like, okay, this is probably going to be a bad game.
Yeah, I know it's going to be bad. Like, as a Dragon Ball fan, it's a cool oddity to have and to have played through. But, like, outside of that, like, there's nothing redeeming unless you're, like, a Dragon Ball fan looking for something goofy.
Yeah, and as someone who had never played Dragon Ball Z game before then, I thought some of the things were kind of interesting. I was like, this aerial fighting and then some of the weird, like, anime effects into it. I was like, oh, that's interesting. But yeah.
You would probably like the Budokai Tenkaichi games and stuff like that.
Is that the new ones?
They're the ones that, like, I mean, they have new games every year, but, like, I'm talking about, like, the PS2 era. Like, the Budokai games and the Budokai Tenkaichi games. They were both a little bit different, but they're actually really fun. They hold up.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you haven't played much. I know I've played a lot, but I haven't in the past month. Call of Duty, the latest one.
You know, I haven't touched it since the night we played it. Since midnight.
But
it was fun. I thought it was good.
Really fun.
I thought it was a good return to form. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I haven't not touched it out of not liking it, just out of not getting around to it.
Yeah. Obviously, with the games we reviewed, I've been on a tear doing the Alien games, and you still have to play Colonial Marines and Fire Squad.
Colonial Marines is sitting on top of my PS3 right now. I will be getting to that.
Any surprises with the Alien 3 games? I mean, obviously, we've already talked about Super NES being the best of them, but in playing them, like, did you have any, like, preconceived notions? Like, did you watch reviews and had a thought in your head before you played it?
The only thing I knew about them was, like, I knew Brits really loved the Alien 3 game on Genesis, and I knew the AVGN burned the NES one, and that was about it. So
Gotcha.
yeah, like the NES one, I'll say is better than the Nerd gave it. I mean, Nerd's a character, so
Sure.
But yeah, the NES one I'll say is better than it got credit for. I think the Genesis one it's fine. It's just overrated for the love I see it kind of get. Like it's always on those like hidden gem lists, and I'm like. Like the Genesis era had a lot of like good of those weird licensed like kind of unwieldy big level runner gun platformer games like Judge Dredd and Demolition Man and Alien 3. Like they're all kind of in the same boat there. And I think Judge Dredd and Demolition Man are better games. Jurassic Park's kind of in that realm too.
You know what it is? They look good. They sound good. Yeah, it's just that the goofy mechanics. And
it was the timer. The timer killed Alien 3. The timer killed it.
Yeah. What about... I mean, I was shocked by Pinball FX3, the Alien games, which is another review we'll be getting out, but that was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was a shame that I hadn't gotten around to Pinball FX3 until then, but that was really good. They did a damn good job with those tables.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the only other two games that are really worth mentioning for me are the first Amnesia game, which that was a game like you talk about always had hype. It laid the groundwork for now the return to FPS horror, and it is really good. But I can see why it would make so much more sense to play that on a PC, and having the context of new games that kind of copied off of that, it's slightly overshadowed. So it's important for what it's did. It was still fun for me, and it was still creepy, but like I can kind of be like, oh, okay, I'm a little over it. And then obviously the game Jim's playing through right now, A Plague Tale. So that's one that I thought was just really, really well done. I was surprised because I wasn't anticipating it being so good. That's probably my summary of the good games.
And you know what? Also surprised me, like the expansion of like that whole 99 concept. So it started with Tetris, which I still haven't fucking beaten, but Mario and like Mario 35 I really liked, and Pac-Man 99 I really like. It really sucks that Mario 35 is delisted now. Like I don't know why they left that as like a timed thing. Stupid. Like that's a fun game to go back to.
Nintendo?
What's that?
Nintendo doing Nintendo?
It's Nintendo doing Nintendo, all right. But yeah, I mean like I thought they were really good and like good implementation of the 99 Battle Royale concept into these franchises, and like it's something I want to see more franchises do and see how they do it. It would be awesome to see, but yeah. They pulled them off well.
Now, actually, games that we both played, we finished off the other Mortal Kombat games, and Shaolin Monks was a shocker for how goddamn good that was.
I haven't finished Shaolin Monks yet. I have to finish that.
But you've played it enough to know it's the best of the three for sure.
Oh, the spin-offs? By a mile, yeah.
I that's one me and you still will have to stream together at some point. We'll have to get together and play it live. Yeah. But the other two games, yeah. Now let's talk about the bad games we played, Jim. Speaking of those two games. I mean, you technically, I think, beat Mythologies, but did you retouch it at all this past year, or was that all footage from previous?
No, I finished that off this year. So that's going to be part of my tier list video. And that's actually going to be the only video I include on there where I use the cheat code, because fuck you. Fuck you trying to beat that game without the goddamn infinite life cheat. Holy crap. So, yeah, like Special Forces I'd played through last year, so I can't count that for this year. Yeah. But, Mythologies is a... Oh, there's so many cool ideas, and they just pulled it off so terribly.
Mm-hmm.
And like we already mentioned, like Dragon Ball, it's sign of the times. Like it was an early attempt at a 3D arena, with the flying mechanics kind of fighter. Definitely was not there yet.
So many of those 3D fighters, I don't know why the inputs are so impossibly goofy and like never seem to work. That was the thing that annoyed me with that game.
Yeah, the input was weirdly laggy and non-responsive. That was the biggest problem there. Like Tekken has ridiculous button combos, but Tekken you can still pull off the combos if you know the buttons. Yeah. This game you have ridiculous button combos and there's no pulling it off. Like the game's just not designed well.
Obviously, for me, the worst goes to Donkey Kong 64.
I think that's the easy one to go with there.
It's easy and it's the most honest, and it's not from lack of fine sound design. If you like that sound, graphics I guess are good for the
its time.
64. But gameplay, like I just didn't. I never there was never even a mini game where I was like, man, this is like, I'm enjoying this. It just, yeah.
Donkey Kong is a collectathon at its worst. That's what it is.
I mentioned there was this little game I played called Story of a Gladiator. I don't know if it's on Game Pass or I got it dirt cheap, but it was like one of these weird, like, oh, it's like $1 or $2 game. Let me try it out. Even for that, like, I put some time in. I'm like, this is kind of stupid. It's something like I sunk 2 or 3 hours, and I was like, okay. I generally always beat games once I start them. I uninstalled it. I was like, I don't need to do this.
Not worth it.
Yeah, and it's not like I can't point to anything specific because graphically it's unique. But yeah, it doesn't do much for me. And I'll leave it at that. I won't say anything bad about any other games.
All right. What do you call it? I mentioned it a couple episodes again, that Bishiru Battle Cyber Panic thing. That weird little Kix clone where you, like, unlock pictures of anime girls. The pictures weren't lewd enough and the gameplay wasn't fun enough. Not worth it.
Damn it, Jim.
But yeah, also like surprising stuff, like the CDI port of the Seventh Guest. Like, yeah, graphically it's impressive, but if it takes 20 minutes to fucking click and move anywhere, like, it just kills any fun that you're gonna have instantly there. So that was a pain in the balls. Shit, I just had another game on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember right now. Fuck, there was something that you know what? I really do not like the Panzer Dragoon remake. And, like, I had never played the original Panzer Dragoon. And I was like, oh, the remake's out there. Better graphics, probably be a little better control-wise. And something about it, like, it's just something off. Like, I know from the reviews and from the purists, they're like, it's, like, either a little too zoomed in or the crosshairs are a little too not glitchy, but, like, jerky. Like, I've heard from people that, like, if you turn down the sensitivity, like, it makes it a better experience, which maybe it does. I just haven't cared enough to go back and try. But yeah, and I played it after it was patched, because, like, it had a huge patch after its release because people complained a lot. And even then, I was just like, this is not good.
Were you, like, did you play it in the past, or was this your first time in...
My first time dipping in.
So, interesting. Even with a fresh perspective, like, you still couldn't kind of get into it.
I could not get into it. I played, like, 2 or 3 levels, and I just, like, put it away. I was like, I'm done with this. I don't like this.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, luckily, I escaped playing a lot of bad games this year. So, hopefully, that's a trend that continues into next year. But, yeah.
And actually, I gotta say, what do you call it? I think I've beaten or finished off more games this year than I have in...
I was going to say, you've also played a lot of just really weird indie...
Oh, yeah, I played a lot of random indie games or a lot of stuff I went back to and finally finished off. But
yeah.
But, like, my normal MO is either I get really obsessed with one game or, like, one genre, and then, like, I kind of put everything else to the wayside. So, like I had my Guitar Hero phase where that's, like, all I did. Or when I had my Call of Duty phase where that was, like, all I did. Or like, even as a kid, like, playing Rogue Squadron, trying to get all the medals in that. Like, playing through the same levels hundreds and hundreds of times just to try and get that, like, all the requirements and shit like that. So, I think as far as, like, actually finishing off games goes, this is kind of like a banner year for me.
Yeah. And that's why this year I want you to expand trying out more genres. Not just weird indie volleyball.
Weird vibe. No, I played Windjammers last year. That's Frisbee. And it's good. Geo game. Good shit.
God damn it, Jim.
What do you mean my titty pinball? My precious titty pinball.
Jim, all your weird, just indie, hentai, whatever shit you've been playing.
Oh, it's only a handful of games.
I bet it is a handful.
That's the first time it's been called a handful. Thank you, Brian.
Damn it. When you smush it like that.
Don't.
Alright, Jim. But one thing we definitely want to hit on before we round out the episode is a huge thank you, and just kind of a go through kind of some of the people that we've been able to have on the podcast, and also some shows we were able to do some guest spots on. So, Jim, I know you have the list, but I threw some names up there, so let's see what we got.
All right, so for all the guests that we had on this year, I think this was the year we've had the most guests on, for the most part. Like when we're in a rhythm, we like to do like 1 week with a guest, 1 week with just us to catch up on some stuff. 1 week with the guest, blah blah blah. Sometimes it would be more of us in a row, but all the guests we had. So Michelle from Petee's Power Hour, we actually had her on twice this year. Blade Blur, who we will have again on early next year to do the good old fashioned year-end roundup. Tyler from My Retro Life, Jenovi, Hop Nation USA, Rian Stone, Burn Retinas, ZapCristal, MrWrightWay, Slime to Garbage Main, G to the Next Level, Pam from Cannot Tamed, HibikiTMD, Nerdy Nick 91, Dan from ConsoleWars, Jakejames Lugo, and Celia Schilling. Thank you, all of you, all the returning guests, all the new guests. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, truly appreciate having all you guys. It was a blast. Can't wait to talk to a lot of you again. And even more importantly, hopefully this coming year, we'll definitely both be able to be at some conventions or meet you in person, get some drinks in person, because that's what we're all about. We like to do that.
Yep, definitely. As we all know right now, Omicron is going haywire. So I don't know if I'm going to be hitting up any of the more close by conventions for the meantime, but
unfortunately, no.
Yeah, hopefully by summerish, like MagFest. I'm just gonna say MagFest. I'm not going.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Unfortunately, but yeah, hopefully another lull in the seasons, and we can get out to more shit this year.
For sure, and this coming year, hopefully we can even get more guests than that. Because yeah, it's always fun talking to you guys.
Oh yeah, definitely. And what do you call it? I have a few in the works, so a bunch of people that I've wanted to come on, that have asked to come on, stuff like that. So it'd be cool. We're going to be expanding to more other podcasts that we, know and like, other people tangentially in the industry, stuff like that. So it's been cool talking to some people from behind the scenes. So always cool stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. And then, yeah, we were lucky enough to be guest on a few different podcasts. And Jim, I think you have that list too.
Yeah. So our wives podcast, known as the Murder Maidens. I appeared on a few episodes, and I think you did too.
I did,
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I gotta look up the episode you did. I know I was actively a part of episodes 15 and 28, and I know you popped on for a few, so I'll find them and throw them in there. Thought Cops, episode 200. They had a call-in show for guests, so I called in quick to that to wish them a happy 200, but we were also part of their episode 241, which just came out, so definitely make sure to check that out. Petee's Power Hour, episode 6, where we talked about spots and had that delicious whiskey that she provided to us. So definitely make sure to check that out. Yeah, it was. I still have a little bit of that left, but that's I'm not a big sipping whiskey kind of guy, but that's a good sipper right there.
For sure, yeah.
And speaking of our buddies at Hop Nation USA, we're on there twice. So a full episode 191, and their 12 Guest of Christmas. We're on part 2 of that. So make sure to check that out. Jenovi, the story of the greatest CDI game ever made. I made a short cameo in that talking about beat 'em ups. So, you know what? Thanks to his video, I went out and got Mutant Rampage Body Slam. One I always wanted to have anyway, but one I had to track down just because of him. Then buddies over at the Sega Guys show, they had an episode about 30 years of Sonic, so I left a little voicemail about, just what Sonic meant to me back then as a kid. Wally Wallcakes, he had an episode called Wally and Friends Halloween Favorites of 2021, where we both talked about, basically we talked about the original Resident Evil for our favorite horror game. So he had a bunch of guests who had to talk about their favorite retro horror game. We, of course, picked the original Resident Evil and gave a little spiel about that.
Naturally.
I make an appearance on the Mint Salad Show, episode 3, Too Minty Games, where she went around doing interviews at Too Many Games, and by the time she got to me, and it wasn't that early in the afternoon, I was way drunker than I remember.
I need to see this, Jim.
Don't worry, Brian. The clip will be in the description, and I'm glad I wasn't actively driving during that, because I would have just driven into a tree at that point. It's fucking embarrassing. But
Jim.
If you all want to laugh, you can check that out. And yeah, and I was fucking, oh god, I didn't put the I got to add this to it. MrWrightWay, he had a $25 game guide, and we both made an appearance in that, talking about. Brian talked about Funkos, I talked about 8BitDo controllers. So yeah, that's a great episode with a whole bunch of different personalities in there, giving some good Christmas recommendations for cheap. So definitely all the links will be below to these videos. Make sure to check them all out. Give them all love, give them all subs. Thank you for having us on. And there's a couple little spots that we've recorded that haven't come out yet, so keep an eye out that for next year.
Yeah, and obviously, if you're listening, if there's anyone you would love to see us try to get on, throw out some names, because we're not bashful. We'll throw out an invite to anyone who's willing to come on. So if there's anyone you really want to see us talk to, drink with, bullshit with, let us know. We have some ideas ourselves, but like I said, we're here to also entertain you guys. So really, really appreciate it. To everyone still listening, we want to say, first of all, thank you so much. Just by listening, you're supporting us. But if you are on Patreon, truly, truly appreciate it. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. And now on Spotify, we have the ability to be rated. If you could, give us a 5-star. Leave a comment. We will always comment on it, just like with iTunes. And I really hope you guys all have a very safe and happy New Year's. Don't be like me and probably Jim. Try to avoid getting it, but if you can't, stay safe and stay healthy, guys. With that, we want to say thank you so much for another great year, and cheers.
Cheers, everyone.